Hey everyone, welcome back to AGT Time. Cody Patterson here along with AGT Commenter and special guest from season 15 semifinalist Celina Graves. How you doing, Celina?
Good. I'm well. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, welcome on board. So Celina, season 15 semifinals. What you got going on? What you been doing since then? What you got coming up? What you want to talk about?
November 14th, I have my first headlining show, which is been a long time coming because, coming off of the show, I couldn't really do much, going performing outside in public because of COVID at the time. So yeah, it's been a journey, trying to get back on my feet as far as getting out on the stage and recording music, being able to be in environments with people without masks and stuff. So yeah, I got a show coming up, and I've been doing
Good.
TikTok lives, and it's been a long, fun journey, man.
Yeah, you've really grown your TikTok audience over the last few
Yeah.
years. Talk about that. How have you grown that?
So a few years ago, I was still working, 9 to 5, and I was streaming as well. So I would just go out, I would work my day shift at nighttime. I would come back on and just stream for a few hours, and I realized my audience was growing, and I made more streaming than I did at my actual job. So I started doing that full time, and it's been 2 years, and now I'm able to fund my own music, and it's been insane, an insane ride.
You cut your teeth on YouTube, didn't you? That's kind of where you got started.
Yeah, yeah.
How did when you started that? Were you like, I can't believe I have 100 viewers, 200 viewers? Like, it went into the millions before you ever went
Yeah.
on AGT. Was that like more than you ever even could have imagined when you started that page?
It was. When I first started YouTube, the fact that I had that many views off the bat was crazy. And then even coming off the show, I mean, it obviously skyrocketed because everybody was at home, COVID watching. But once I started doing TikTok, it was a whole different world. I was able to just create this community that just wants to see me release music and
Mm-hmm.
perform live. So it's like a hack for musicians, this TikTok live thing, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, it's awesome. This headlining show that starts in a few weeks. Where are we going? We got some. Was it kind of in one spot? You going around? What's the deal there?
It's a single show, so it's gonna be in New
Okay,
York and Buffalo.
nice,
Tickets went on sale a few weeks ago, and they almost halfway sold out. So we're
sweet.
expecting to sell this out. I have 2 openers who are amazing artists as well. So, um, at first time gonna be performing with dancers and a full band and have a DJ. So this is what I was meant to do, and it's finally happening. So I'm excited.
Have you spent much time in Buffalo before?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
I have family over there. Actually,
gotcha.
Ron, my manager, he lives there, so I'm always flying over there and then hopping over the border to Canada to go to Niagara Falls, so it's
Gotcha.
fun
Are
stuff.
you hitting like wing spots while you're there? They're known
No,
for their
just quick
wings.
trips. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Oh, okay. All right. Buffalo wings. It's like a big deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's
I
where they
haven't.
started. Buffalo
No, I
wings. Yeah, Buffalo, New
that's
York.
smart. That makes sense, Buffalo, New York.
They're not
No,
actually made of
I haven't
buffalo.
had any I haven't had any wings there. Now when I go there on November 14th, I'm gonna definitely have some wings. I have to.
From what I've heard, Wing Nuts is the best wing spot in Buffalo. I've never
Wing
been,
nuts?
so don't take my word for it. But all right,
I'm gonna
yeah.
definitely
I
try
mean,
it out.
yeah. If you're in Buffalo, you gotta try the
Yeah.
wings. Cody, have you ever been to
For
Buffalo?
sure.
I have been to Buffalo. Yeah, I've driven through Buffalo. The wife and I did a Toronto tour. We drove down through. We stopped in Niagara Falls, and then on the way back, we drove through Buffalo. So yeah, didn't get to see a lot
Nice.
of it. Again, just kind of drove through it.
Yeah, that's like going to
Yeah,
Philly and, like, not having a Philly cheesesteak, like, what am I
yeah,
thinking?
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. You
what?
gotta
That
give it
makes
a shot.
sense.
Yeah. There you go.
How can people find tickets for your show?
On my TikTok page, there's a link in my bio, easy, just click on the link, or on, Instagram, Celina Graves Official on TikTok and Instagram, there's a link there, just, um, get them quickly because 'cause they're gonna be sold out
Yeah,
probably, which is amazing.
yeah. Go see her. That'd be an awesome show.
Yeah.
Um. Yeah. No, that's great. Obviously, season 15, which is 5 years now, which is kind of crazy. Cody and I just started doing a season 5 rewatch last week, and we're like, that's 15 years ago, which is even crazier. Um, I watched your audition today, and you had the full crowd. So you auditioned before, because like it felt like half the auditions were crowded, half weren't.
Correct.
So you got your audition done beforehand. Maybe my question is, if they would have shut down and then said, "Hey, you can come audition," would you still have done season 15,
Of
or would you have been
course.
like, "I'll pass, I'll come back in a year"?
No, I think that was really it like it was a plus and a negative because it's like I was able to sing in front of the audience at that time, but for the rest of the show, everybody was at home watching. Like so many eyes were on the show because they couldn't go anywhere, couldn't do anything. So people are watching TV, right? But at the same time, I I got, stripped of being able to perform live,
Right.
outside of it. But no, I would definitely would never take that back. I wouldn't wait on it for a second. I would have
Mm-hmm.
took the opportunity. But yeah, I think the last day that I auditioned was the last day that they had an audience too.
Really.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
So I
all.
got
And
That's
lucky.
so,
amazing.
you all knew it was coming, like that we
Oh,
were.
yeah.
So it was right up against the line.
Yeah. I
Interesting.
didn't know until it was a couple days before my audition day where things were starting to be like get weird, and people were talking about COVID and
Mm-hmm.
um I didn't think it was that serious until we were locked in our hotel rooms and they
Yeah,
were bringing us food and we couldn't go anywhere. So
it's
that's a
crazy.
crazy, yeah.
So okay, so you it was kind of the last crowd audition. Who was that with you that joined you there at the audition?
So it was my dad, my best friend and her girlfriend at the time, and my sister was there. So
So
I had a lot of
how was
family
that?
support.
Yeah, how was that? How's having them in the audience when you
It was
performed?
cool. That I mean, I had a lot of my family came, so I had so much support that it just felt amazing because I could hear them. They were the loudest people in the crowd. I knew exactly when I walked on stage, I heard them scream. I knew exactly where they were sitting. Um, it felt really cool to see my dad's reaction watching it back because obviously I couldn't see him during, but watching it back and seeing his reaction to me on stage was really warming, heartwarming.
I really loved the audition. Tremendous performance, obviously. You basically collapse into a heap
Yeah,
after. I was like, boy, she's down, almost. It seemed like you were down for the count.
yeah.
I was like, wonder what was going on there, because it felt like a lot.
It was. I mean, I wanted this for a really long time, and I watched AGT since season 1, so I always pictured myself on the red X in front of the judges, and, I blacked out during the performance, I'm not gonna lie, but at the very end, when that last note was hit and it was over and everybody it was like a silence, and then the crowd went crazy. It was just I was full of emotions and, like, flashbacks of everything that I had been through that led up to that very
Hmm.
moment, and it was all worth it.
Yeah,
So,
no,
yeah,
that's awesome. You sang a Shawn Mendes song.
yeah.
He's great. When you're making a song choice, whether it was the audition or as the season went, was it? He was obviously really kind of big at that point. Was it more of that? Was it a song you just felt like was really, really in your wheelhouse that you could do really well? What's the thought process when you're picking what you want to perform?
Well, everything that you said. I wanted to show my range and show my power, but not give too much. So I thought that that was I mean, it's a mellow song, but it also gets big at some parts, and I made it my own, but I don't have very much say when it comes to song choice. I can say, "Hey, these are the songs that I wanna sing," but that wasn't the one that I wanted to sing, you know what I mean? So, the show kinda has control over that part.
Interesting. What would have
Yeah.
been, if it's me, if I'm picking, what song would you have sang for that audition?
Think going back, I wanted to sing "You Say" by Lauren Daigle. "You say I am
Didn't
loved."
they use that for
They
the song?
did, they
Yeah.
did. So,
Yeah.
that's why I was like, "Wait, why couldn't I just sing that one?" He used it as I'm falling to my knees, but no,
They
that
did
what
that
I
wasn't like
didn't
a conversation where they're like,
n
she likes this song?
no, we had the conversation, so when I watched it back and they played that song in slow as I'm going slow motion to the ground, I was like, "Are you kidding? Like, this is the song I wanted to sing, because you don't know what they're gonna do, like,
Right.
and there was some things that were said that, like, I was just like, I don't remember
Yeah.
saying. That's how I know I blacked out because I don't remember saying some of the things that I said on stage.
Yeah. There's an intensity when you're standing up there that
Yeah,
you're kind of just in the moment.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. It was crazy because I'm very timid. Like I'm a very
Yeah.
shy singer, like performer. But when I get on stage, I do it, but like I have super bad anxiety. I was pacing backstage, like the producers were like trying to calm me down. Like I was having an anxiety attack back there. But I did it
I can
anyways, pulled
imagine.
through.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, so you get out on the stage and you're having your interaction with the judges. Talk through your interaction with them. We only see a short bit of it. Did it
Hmm.
last a lot longer than that? Was it the television
Yeah.
broadcast? Was that about as how long it was? Kind of talk through that.
No, it's much longer. So I go on stage and like Simon's asking me where I'm from and stuff like that. And then I kind of like paused and I was so like I was so anxious that I was thirsty. So Simon was like, "You want some water?" And the whole crowd started laughing. And Terry comes up running. He like comes up running, and I'm like, have the mic in my hand. I'm trying to open it, but my hands are shaking so bad. They should have showed this. It was funny. So Terry opens the water for me, and I drink it. And then they kind of just like, "What are you doing? What did you do for work?" And there was a lot of things that were said that they don't show. So and Howie's saying that I look great. That you have these interactions with them that they
Yeah.
don't broadcast. They only have so much time. So, yeah, that was a funny part when he had to come running with the water. That was funny.
You said you've been watching since season 1, which is
Mhm.
awesome. We love it. We love when it feels like the people that are on the show, whether it's judges or acts and stuff like that, that really feel
Yeah.
like fans.
Yeah.
So there had to be probably two-parter. One, it had to be kind of surreal just to be standing in front of like Simon and Howie. And two, I'll let you answer that, and then I want to find out what are some of like your all-time favorites over the last, 15, 20 years.
Um, so my all-time favorite, I would say Cody Lee.
Yep,
Cody Lee,
love it.
which was cool because during the time that I was on the show, he reached out to well, his mom DM'd me and said that I was one of the favorites from him.
Sweet.
So that was cool. And he actually lived close to me, so that was all. I didn't get a chance to meet him.
Sure.
But I would also say another one of my favorites who is also I'm not even being biased. He's my friend, Jordan Blue.
Mm.
He's my friend in real life, so I just think he's just super talented all around, like, and as a person, as a human, he deserved what he got, and I just feel like his range is insane. So I know they're both singers, but I think those two people made the most impact on me.
As a singer, when you go out for your audition, is it like, oh my gosh, Simon Cowell is going to watch my singing audition? Is that still a thing? That was a thing, Cody, we've talked about Idol years and stuff.
Yeah,
It doesn't feel like maybe he's as big as an impact in the music industry as he used to be, but was that still there? Like, oh my gosh, that's
yeah,
Simon.
it's
That's
Simon
Simon.
Cowell. It's Simon Cowell. So yeah, that was always my every time like I envisioned myself singing, I was like, what would he say to me? And I would like sing in the mirror. I would sing in the mirror and be like pretend that he was watching me. I kid you not. So that's how much of a fan I was of the show. But it is terrifying. And so when the first words that came out of his mouth was like, wow, and it made me feel I mean, I didn't need validation, but, like, as an artist, when Simon Cowell says that you're good and that you're gonna go far, like, they didn't show this, but they took a break right after my performance, and he
Mhm.
walked up to me backstage. He put his hand on my shoulder and goes, "Thank you for coming out to the show, you're gonna go really far." And they didn't record that or anything, and I didn't even get a chance to respond. He kinda just walked away, but that was
It's a little
like I was just
flyby.
like yeah, I was just like, oh, thank you."
Yeah. Well, he was
So
right.
that
I
was
mean,
cool.
all the way to semis.
Yeah. Yeah, insane. I think, the winner I think Brandon Lake deserved that. There hadn't been, a poet. There's always
Right.
singers winning, and I knew at the time, I was like, the chances of me winning as a singer, it's very difficult,
Mhm.
because there's always so many singers, and there was a very, very diverse, crazy competition I think all the singers on my season were incredible. So that was nerve-wracking, but I think Brandon Lake deserved that win.
So you get through auditions. They have the weird second round that they don't really end up doing much of a second round. I'm trying to. So you audition at what would have been early March, end of February, early March
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. So and then after that, they had picked people to perform again. And then some people were just like automatically entered into the live shows, which I was one of them. So they
Mm-hmm.
did it from home, and it was, recorded, and I had to sit there, and they basically told me it was live though. Like, I didn't know if I was moving on to the live shows or not, but I didn't have to perform again. So they were
Mm-hmm.
like, "You're going straight through to the live shows," and it was just like, "Oh my gosh!" It still was a crazy feeling, even sitting at home. Um,
So in that period where they're trying to figure out how they're going to, I mean, I'm sure they're just figuring out how we're going to broadcast this show the rest of the summer. For the acts, as you're coming up on quarterfinals, was it like, hey, we just have no idea what we're going to do, just hang on? Or did it seem like they kind of had their ducks in a row? Or how weird, complicated, crazy was, kind of June, July when they were trying to get everything in order?
I think it was like both. I think they kind of were like, they had it. For the situation, they were very, very, um, it was organized for what it was, because it could have been complete chaos. They could have
Yeah.
canceled the show. They could have not known how to move forward. But considering the situation, I'm just grateful that we were able to continue the show, because they could have been like, hey, we have to cancel, and that would have been, heartbreaking for all of us. So, and I don't know if we would have gotten a second chance, but it was very it was very smooth.
Yeah. Your quarterfinal and your semifinal, but you're outside.
Yeah.
Not I can't remember every performance of the whole season, but I remember singers that weren't outside.
Mhm.
Maybe I'll just let you take that and run with it
Okay.
between whether you liked
So
it, didn't like it, how that happened, disadvantage, advantage. Floor is
I
yours.
th I think it was a really cool advantage for us, because, like, when on the regular seasons, you're inside the Pasadena Convention
Mm-hmm.
Center, and, like, you're limited to what you can do. So, there were so many ideas that I had, that production had, that we were able to, like, go on the back lot of Universal Studios and be able to film these clips where movies were made. I initially had fireworks that were supposed to come on my semifinal performance. Yeah, we practiced them, and like they kind of messed me up. So I was like, maybe we should do the fireworks. So production was like, let's not do the fireworks. So yeah, it was kind of a plus to be able to be free and be outside, and some were inside, and some had crazy special effects because we were able to use the things that people used in movies.
Mm-hmm.
But then the only downside to that was I got production and a camera.
Yeah.
I feed off the audience,
Right.
the audience's reaction, and that was the only part that was taken from me. And I feel like that was the kind of downfall for that situation. But I think
Even
the
even
performances
just
were cool.
even just having the judges in front of you, I'm sure would have been at least
Yeah,
something that would have felt like you were somebody was watching you.
yeah, yeah. That they weren't there either. I forgot
Right.
about that. The only time they were was when we did the results show. So we would have our performance, and you only get one take. Because they want to make it fair, right? So if
Mm-hmm.
you mess up, you mess up. That is what it is. If you hit a bad note, or you miss a line, something like that. So they tell you straight up, you have one take to do this. We're not going to redo it again, to make it fair. And you have one run through,
Yep.
and then you do the live one, and that's it. And then the next day is when you go to the results. Kind of like the same thing, except with nobody but production. There was maybe like 10 people outside. I'm kidding, like 10 people. You know.
It's crazy.
So, yeah.
Did you kind of treat it like you were like in a studio where you just kind of blocked everything out? You had the microphone, they had some great lighting for you. So it's almost like you're in a studio. Did you treat it that way?
No, I came with it. That's the thing. So for me again, like if I'm singing in front of an audience, I feel like I do better. I feel like I do more. I take risks because I'm, in front of them. I can hear the woos and the ahs and stuff from the audience, and it makes me want to run more and do better. But like in this situation, it was kind of like, yeah, like nobody was doing that. And it was just me in silence, and I just did the best that I could. But I feel like the audience would have probably made me do better.
Simon gets hurt in the middle of the season. Was he there
Yep.
for any live shows? Or was he out the whole live shows?
I think he was out all the
The
live
rest of the
shows.
season, he was
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
there. Uh-huh. Yeah, he
As a
wasn't there the rest of the season.
Obviously everybody's bummed because one, he's hurt, and two, it's Simon, he should be on the show. As a singer, were you like, man, I'm losing I'm losing
Yeah.
the one guy. There's no Mel B anymore. The one guy down there that
Yeah.
actually kind of knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, it was like, can anything else go wrong? We first time we
Yeah.
have COVID, and then Simon like hurts his back, and like we're just losing everybody. It was just like, yeah, that was kind of a bummer. But I actually reconnected with him. We can get into that in a little bit.
No, yeah, go
Go
ahead.
for it.
Yeah,
Oh, right now. Okay, so
yeah.
I went to the live taping of the last season of AGT, and I'm walking through like just a sideway and he happens to come out and we locked eyes and he like remembers me. We have this interaction and um I told him, what I was doing and how I was doing music full time now. And we just kind of was talking and he remembered me. So that kind of in my heart was like, dang, this is 5 years later. You see so many singers, so many acts come on
Hmm.
this stage. And like he said my name first. Like I didn't have to be like, "Hey, I'm Celina."
Yeah.
He was like, "Celina, hey." Like so that was really cool to have, and this was like a month ago,
Hmm.
4 weeks ago. I
So
think
you were
it was a quarterfinals.
okay. You're at a quarterfinal. We
Yeah, quarterfinals.
we talked with Tom Cotter. I'm not sure if you remember Tom Cotter. He's a comedian on
No.
season 7. We talked with him last week, and he was out there for the finale. And he said it was a big alumni, a lot of alums and stuff. So, yeah, because they
Yeah.
kind of played in all the alums for season 20. Do you still stay in touch with season 15 alumni? Like, hey, we're the
Yeah,
season 15 crew.
You got a
I
Facebook
do.
group, all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
We don't have a Facebook group, but we all follow each other on all of our socials and we
Yep.
connect here and there. We're like, "Hey, how are you?" And I check up on everybody, just say, "How
Yeah.
you doing?" or watch their stories and stuff. So, yeah, we
Is
connect.
there
We stay
is
connected.
there a few that in particular they're like we got pretty close throughout, like a good friend that I made while I was on the show?
I think me and Brandon, like, right off the bat, we hit it.
Yep.
We just had the same mindset, the same goals, even though we're both artists, he's a poet, I'm a singer.
Hmm.
Um, and, we stayed in touch, and we're really good friends. And also, Double Dragon, people are probably like, "What the heck?" Double Dragon
Double
twins.
Oh,
Dragons, yes.
So, yeah, we're still in touch. They're
that's
also on
funny.
TikTok doing their thing. They were just in, this campaign to go to the Grammys, and, we were on screen together the other night. So, I mean, those are 2 main ones that I've kept in touch with. Shakira as well. Shakira McGrath, she's a country singer. So yeah.
Was there still like a chance for you all to interact and mingle backstage in any capacity? Like, what? Obviously, there was a green room usually. Like, what was the layout for that, or were you kind of on your own the whole time?
So they would try to, like, separate us,
Yeah.
but, I mean, we took it obviously, it was serious. We all had to they had us staying in the same hotel. So we were all on the same floor mostly, and so we would try to, like, sneak down to the pool area and just, like, hang out, but they would have, like, security down there to be like, "Hey, go back to your room." But as far as, like, backstage, they would only, like, bring us one by one, like, there was no place that we could, like, really
Yeah.
mingle except for the hotel, so that
Gotcha.
was a bummer.
How was it having some of the contestants not even there, like the Bellow sisters and
That was
Yeah.
weird.
so
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
so weird, and I don't know, I felt like it took away like, having just to watch them on screen, like, it took away from their performance because them live they're so amazing, and a lot of the people that were just on the screen they're amazing acts, and it was just a weird season, and I feel like because I reached out recently, I feel like it would be cool for me to be able to tell that story
Mm,
and do it over again and try again.
right.
I mean, 5 years ago, my voice was definitely different than it is now. I've worked on it, I've matured, I have music out, and I just feel like another shot would mean everything.
Yeah.
It'd be
Because
really
you were a
cool.
fan, like you'd said.
Yeah.
Are you bummed that is there a part of you that's like I got it's kind of cool that I got the completely odd season from like a historical standpoint? You're like, man, I kind of got gypped out of being able to do the process that I really enjoyed watching when I was growing up.
A hard question because I asked myself the same thing. I'm like, is it cool that I was able to be on that one, or did it
Right.
hurt me in the long run? I feel like in the long run, it kinda just it hurt me because I didn't get the full experience. I didn't be able to come back and have those interactions with the fans, walk through the lines and, like, give everybody a high fives and hugs and interact with my fans and also perform or do live interviews after. It was always just over the phone or through Zoom, you know? So I think I got gypped. And so
yeah,
I
yeah.
would like to try again.
Right. Yeah, and that is starting to maybe be something that might work out, considering our most recent winner was a recycle. So if you go back
Yeah.
on, let's say you go on season 21 or 22 or something, for the fans, what is, you had said, you mentioned you've grown as a singer.
Mhm.
What's the differences between season 15 Celina and what we would get now that we would notice, or the growth?
I would say like the message, just because here we are 5 years later, and I'm more matured as an artist. I have built my own bigger fan base only because I never gave up, and I'm
Mhm.
still the same Celina. I never tried to change for a label because I would get offered these deals, and it's like, but you have to do this and wear this and sing this like this, and um you can make it and be a successful singer without having to be a Justin Bieber or a Chris Brown. You can do what you love to do every single day. And it's not even with just with singing, with just in life in general. You could do what you love to do every single day.
Mhm.
Um, if you just don't give up. There's always a way.
Right.
And
So if
TikTok
you
is my way.
yeah. So if you go back on, are you singing originals then, or what's the strategy?
I would definitely I would not off the bat, but I
Okay.
think if I made it through, I would definitely sing an original for sure,
Okay.
if they allowed it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're saying you haven't changed. I mean, well, you have changed, but you haven't changed. And one of the things Simon said in your audition was, "Don't let a stylist go anywhere near you."
Yeah.
And it seems like you've kind of taken that to heart, and
Yep.
you've done your own thing, and it
Mhm.
seems to be working well for you. So
Yeah,
kind of talk
that stuck
through,
with
yeah,
me.
yes, good. I'm glad it stuck with you because it seems to be working. Kind of talk more about that when he said that.
Yeah, so he said that, and then, like, that was the main question or thing that people would always bring up is how did that make you feel when he said that? And it's like, stuck with me. I always knew that inside that I never had to change and I was good enough. But obviously getting that validation from Simon Cowell was pretty cool. And I've always had that in the back of my mind when I'm going to do something or dress up for a performance or an interview or an appearance, is like, man, I could do this thing and be me and not have to change for anybody. And I won't let anyone in this world ever change me. So yeah, that's really been something I stuck to since the show.
Is Terry Crews as nice and kind as he presents on television in real life?
Yes, and we're still in touch.
Oh,
That's the
really?
cool
Yes.
thing. Yeah. So he followed me on Instagram, and like I'll slide up on one of his stories and he'll respond and like stuff, and and that's why I'm like, he's just such a kind human, but he's so big. He's
Yeah,
huge.
that was gonna be my next question. Is he as big as he perceives?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they didn't show this. They showed the hug part, but, like, I came off stage and I hugged him, and he picked me up, and, like, I was way off the floor, and I'm 5'7", okay? I'm not too short, but,
Right.
yeah, that was a that was a cool moment, and, people don't know this. I don't even know if I'm supposed to say this, but
Cody,
I
we get a
s
scoop here.
Yep. Love
Yep.
scoops.
you do get a scoop.
Yeah.
I sang twice. I don't know if anyone's ever done that before, and I was super confused because I'm like, you're assigned producer, and then, like, they put you out, you're stuck with them the entire show. So I perform, I get the 4 yeses, I reunite with my family, we got the cameras on me, I did it, like, 4 times. They're like, "Okay, do it again, do the interaction again. Oh, keep that emotion." So it's like you're an actress at this point.
Yeah.
And so then my producer pulls me back and goes, "Hey, hey, come, you're gonna sing again." And I'm like, "What? Are you gonna sing again?" And I'm like, "Why?" And she just didn't tell me. She's like, "Do you wanna sing?" I'm like, "Okay." And so I'm standing there, Terry's on stage, and they're just like, the whole crowd is like, "Selena," they're chanting my name, and I'm like, at this point, I've already gained them as fans, so
Right.
now I'm more comfortable to sing again the same song. The judges are not there,
Yeah, so you get an
and
encore,
that was
basically. Yeah.
yeah, and that was
Yeah.
the take that they used, and so I don't know if that I think they used bits and pieces of both. I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but it's been a long time. I'm pretty sure people have mentioned that. I'm not the only person that's ever done that, I don't think.
There's 4,000 people in the theater that don't work for the show, so it's not like it's a total secret, I guess. But
Exactly,
that's interesting. So
exactly,
they
that was
must
crazy.
just want to be able to be like, hey, there was this 6-second part of the song the first time she sang it that maybe she missed a note or something,
Yep.
and we can
Yeah.
just patch it together. It seems
Mhm.
kind of nice of them.
I think at that point they knew that I was gonna be
Right. Like
on the
they,
show because
right,
not everybody that gets 4 yeses gets aired.
right. Yeah.
So I felt like I'm like, well, they said, well, even if you get 4 yeses, you're not guaranteed to be aired on the show. And the fact they made me go again, I was like, oh, I'm in. I'm in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that was good.
They're not doing all this if they're just going to say no eventually anyways. Yeah. That's interesting.
Exactly.
Yeah. The magic of television. You never know exactly
Hmm.
what's going on. Did anybody get the golden buzzer while you were there while you were at auditions that day?
No, but a lot of X's that you hear backstage that
Is
I
it
hear,
loud?
and
Is
Is
it's
it
it like
so
loud? Yeah.
really
loud.
loud?
Yes, it's really loud in real life. So I'm back there, like I think because there was like I don't know who went before me. It was these I think they were dressed up as clowns. I don't know what it was, but they aired it but they were before me. 3 singers. They wore like top hats. I think they perform at Disneyland. They're called like the Commendors or something like
Okay.
that. Anyways, so they were for me. I'm sorry, that it was awful. I couldn't listen to them. And Simon, I think, was the one to do it first, and they were right before me. And I'm like, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's definitely nerve wracking when the 3 people that go before you get those X's.
So when you're there on audition day, what they show us is everybody sitting around and just kind of hanging out and waiting. I'm guessing that's somewhat accurate. You're just hanging in a room.
Hmm.
Are you just, and it showed like you guys are just probably introducing yourselves and, hey, I sing. When you're in
Yeah,
there and you're a singer and there's probably somebody in the corner that's got like swords that they're getting ready to go out and swallow. And do you feel like you're almost like, I guess I'm a singer. This guy over here swings from like a trapeze. Is it a
yeah,
weird thing to be like, I'm a singer on
yeah.
this show because look at this guy over here. Like,
I
is it weird
know,
like that?
it is, it's intimidating, and it's like it's not like it's the voice where, like, I'm like, "Okay, I sing, and I know I got a good voice, and I compete with singers," but, you got people flipping, flying around, and acrobats, you got dancers, you got, people swallowing swords, so it's like, it's definitely it's definitely intimidating, you're looking around going like, "Man, I got some competition here," I better go out there and sing and do a backflip at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, that's definitely intimidating for sure.
You had mentioned it was and I wrote it down when I was going through the season today, just kind of looking through everything, how competitive of a singing season it ended up being. It kind of seemed like the one talent, obviously Brandon's in a little bit different situation, but that kind of survived the loss of the crowd and the loss of kind of the regular season. Could you tell
Yeah.
while you were in it, in those whatever handful of weeks that you were in the live shows, that you were like, man, this is a loaded season from a singing standpoint?
Yeah, yeah, that's why I was like, I'm not gonna make it very far because
Yeah.
and that's just me in my own head. I get in my head a lot because, there were so many talented singers, and even Howie had mentioned on quarterfinals that, there was a lot of singers and the season had a lot of, competition when it came to singers. So he was like, I don't know. He's like, I think that was gonna be enough to get you to the next round, but I
Hmm.
don't know. So it's gonna be up to the audience. So at that moment, I was like, oh dang, well, shoot, we really gotta step it up on next performance. So,
Results
yeah.
night. I'm fascinated by this because Cody and I and all of us that are on this podcast and are big fans of the show sit at home, and my heart's pounding through my chest, waiting to find out who's going to go
My
through.
gosh, yes.
I can't imagine. Can you put into words when it's, especially once they call your name in the spotlight, semifinals, it's you and Christina standing next to each other. Is it almost a blackout situation too, like the audition? Like how could you even describe it?
Yeah. So at this time, so we were inside, and yes, the spotlight was there, but we had a virtual audience that was real. So they were at home watching and they were screaming. And as all I remember is this, like just from the speakers, just screaming. And I'm like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And it was the longest pause of my entire life when Terry goes and then America votes through. And it's like, I'm still standing there like, okay, it feels like an hour. I'm gonna pass out. I need some water. I don't know what's gonna happen. And then when they said my name, like it was just like, oh my goodness, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because I had got put that in the Duncan save.
Yeah.
So I
Hmm.
had to get all these votes in order to like
Right.
be saved. And so I'm like, this is the end for me. I didn't even make it to the semis. Like it's like it messes with your head. Like, you feel
Yeah.
at that point you're not good enough, like, dang, I'm in the bottom 3, so yeah, that spotlight, standing on the stage, you feel like your legs are gonna collapse and you're gonna pass out in front of everybody. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It's got to
for him
be.
to say my name, it was cool. It was a great feeling. I slept good that night. I slept good
So
that night.
were you there whenever you showed up for your quarterfinal? You were there in that same hotel for the rest of the show that because Cody, I think we've talked to people who said they've gone home after a quarterfinal because they were 3 weeks. Like, how long? I didn't write down how long in between, or were you back to back weeks between quarterfinals and semis?
No, I stayed and I was, 'cause I remember I was out of work for a few months.
Yeah,
So, um, I stayed in the same hotel and we were locked. It was a couple weeks
Yeah,
yeah,
in between.
she was in the last quarterfinal,
and second semi.
and I'm looking. Yeah, in the second semi.
So
Yep.
you had a week in between. Yeah.
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 What did you do for a week?
Um,
Can you
so we
were
got
you doing
rehearsals.
rehearsals? Yeah.
hmm So for this situation, they had set times for us to leave the room and go downstairs to the rehearsal room by ourselves with
Mm-hmm.
nobody else in there except, we set, I guess, because I had a pianist that would work with me, and so it was
Mm-hmm.
one person in there. Um, but other than that, we couldn't, unless it was wardrobe to go get fitted for what you're gonna wear on stage or rehearsals. We weren't leaving the room. My phone was my best friend because I mean they brought the food to the door. They
Yeah.
told us when they were gonna, so I didn't leave. We couldn't leave. And if we were caught down by the pool or hanging out in the lobby, they had people there that knew who we were to say,
Really?
"Hey, get back up to your room."
Were you just
Yeah.
watching whatever was on TV in the hotel, or did they send you like DVDs, or did you
Um,
have Netflix?
no, I think I was really big. I was going live too on Instagram. So,
Mm.
and then when we would mingle with each other, like, because we were on the same floor, so all of us were like so bored, right? So like we would just like go into each other's rooms and like I'd play guitar and like you got Shakira singing and then what are the two? Oh, I forgot their names. They got to the finals. It was final two. It was Brandon Leak and I
Oh,
forgot their
Broken Roots.
names.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Cody's
yeah,
Broken
favorite
yeah,
Roots.
guys.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So we would hang out and then we'd play guitar and we'd all sing together. So
That's awesome.
yeah.
So in your quarterfinal, you sang "Strong" by London Grammar. Did you pick that, or did they pick that for you?
I had no idea what that song was.
You
Never
had
heard it
never
in my
sang it
life.
before.
Nope,
That's
I had a
crazy.
week to learn it.
Oh,
And so I had asked, I'm like, "Can we please just change?" I think I wanted to sing, what were my options at that point? I forgot what the options were, but that was not on the list at all.
yeah.
And so they like presented it to me and I was like, "Have you ever heard the original song?" Like, it is nothing like what I sang it as,
Sure.
and I was like, "This is not," but I think they knew. They were like, "Okay, well, we know her voice. She's gonna make
Yeah.
it sound good." And I did the best that I could, but yeah, no, I learned it, and I thought I was gonna forget the lyrics because I never had a
Right.
week, you know?
How do you think they come to those conclusions? Is it they just been doing it so long that they have an ear for this is how she
Yeah.
sounds, this is how we can make this like it sounds like
Mhm.
the especially on the music side, they sound like they're very smart and talented people.
They really are, and the producers too are also artists. So like I was set up with someone who was a singer, and she helped arrange the music. Would say, "Oh, you should do a run here," or "Hold this note longer." And she could sing too. Oh, her name was Courtney, and she's still on the show. I actually saw her the week that I went for the quarterfinals. But yeah, so they really do a good job at arranging the and changing the key and making sure that the song sounds really good.
So,
So
and it's a season 15, so it's a little bit different, and like the other seasons. But is like Simon mingling about? Like, is he coming around and giving his 2 cents? Anything of that nature happening?
we hear stuff like the producer would be like, "Well, Simon would want to hear this. This is what we think that he'd want to hear." And so like I'm like, "Okay," but it's not like directly coming from him, but they just know him and they know the judges so they know what they want to hear and then, I mean, it's Simon's shows, right? So
Sure.
like
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's like what Simon says go with.
Right.
So I wanted to impress him. So I know he's big in the music and if you're not a good singer, he's going to tell you.
If
So
I if I was working on it, I'd use that all the time with the acts. I'd be like, well, I think I talked to Simon, even though I hadn't. I'd be like, and he said that you need to run to the store. I need a
That's
Gatorade
so
and a candy
funny.
bar. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, Simon said I gotta go do that. I'd use that all the time. Did you ever
That's
feel like they're
funny.
like, I think you're just saying that Simon said that because you want me to do it?
No, I actually feel like they knew what Simon wanted and what Simon said.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was whatever he said went, and we wanted to just impress him the most out of everybody, and Howie too. Yeah,
And
and he is really germaphobic, he
oh
really
yeah,
is.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then you mentioned wardrobe a moment ago. Did you pick out what you wore for quarterfinals and semifinals,
Yeah,
or
they're amazing. I have to say this because they pick out what they think that you wanna wear, and they size it, they do it, they're sewing up. So I wanted for semifinals, I was like, I want a pink suit. And they had a whole bunch of suits that, I could have chose, but they had a pink suit. And so I just gave them suggestions on what I wanted to wear, and they had them right there all the way down to like the accessories and the shoes, and I got to keep it all, which was cool.
you got to keep it? That's nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I still have it. I still
Yeah.
have it.
that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you only ended up? I mean, you did 3 total performances. Do you
Mhm.
feel like you learned anything in those 9 minutes as a performer that you took with you after and be like, I didn't know this before I did AGT, and now I know that I need to do this or this works? Or is it just such a pressure cooker of a performance that it doesn't really apply in the real world?
No, it definitely applies. I think because my first performance, I was sick. So they were going to have to move it back. And I was like, you know what? It's like, say I had a sold out tour or something and I was sick, and it's so crazy because of COVID. I didn't have COVID, but I had a cold. And so I was really nasally, and it's like just push through no matter what. Like, even if you don't feel good, it's like, having to go to work. It's the same thing. But as an artist, you got to go out there and you got to put on your best show no matter what. And given the circumstances with the song choice, I didn't really want to sing that song, but as an artist, I learned to take something and just make it your own? So that's exactly what I did. And I learned, and now I take songs that are like country songs or um even like techno, and I can just totally switch them and make them my own. So I definitely learned a lot from the show. Was that
Cody, what
alarm just
else?
went off? What happened? Was that
Yeah,
alarm?
I had a buzzer on my phone went
Oh.
off. Luckily this is not live
I was
TV.
like, did I get X'd out or what?
Cody, what else you got?
So yeah, in the semifinals, you're on top of a building. How they approach you and say, "Hey, we want to throw you on top of a building for your next performance"?
Yeah, I had no idea that that they're like, "You're gonna sing in a building." I'm like, "Okay." I thought I was gonna be inside. And that was the one that they had literal fireworks set up like behind the building, and they set them off a few times, but I swear I went up like 20 staircases to get to the top. It was an empty building
Yeah.
with just stairs that went all the way to the top of this building. I'm like, "What is this building for?
It's just a
And
back,
why are you making me?"
just a back lot, right?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
backlot. So it was an empty building with stairs, and I kid you not, I'm like, now I gotta give me like 30 minutes before I sing because my throat's dry. You guys made me walk up these stairs. So, but it was kind of cool that scenery. I think that really the vibe of what they had in mind for that performance was really cool with the lights and being on top of that building. I think I sang "Jealous." I'm jealous for the name. Yeah, I love that song.
And so was this like the night before? Was this like, did they record this Monday night?
Yeah, it's the night before. Yeah,
So even
the
the
night
acts
before.
that did perform in the theater, did they record too, or was theirs
Mhm.
live? So
No,
even the ones in the theater, they recorded the day before.
yeah, they were all recorded.
So the judges just
All of
watched
'em.
them on the screen and then judged you.
Mhm.
That's crazy.
I think they watched them either. I don't think that they were watching it live. I think they watched it the day of results. So, I mean, it wouldn't matter because America's voting at that point anyways, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
So I think the results show what they did was they would play the judges are sitting there, they would play the act back for obviously the audience and them, and
Yep.
then have that person come out on stage in front of
Interesting.
them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Crazy deal.
Yeah.
Something in that.
So in the results for semifinals, it was you and Christina Ray. And so what were you thinking when you and Christina Ray were standing
Oh
there next to each
gosh.
other?
I was just like, I'm going home because she had the story, she had the audiences, that everyone was just hooked on her. I mean,
Mhm.
I
She could really
think
sing too.
she got a phenomenal voice, but I
Yeah.
feel like the story really grasped a lot of people with the whole, like, she had a kid and like the homelessness part, and I feel like a story plays a big part in the
Mhm.
voting. I really do. Um, so I mean, she was great. We didn't talk much. I didn't really talk to her very much, but yeah, that was at that point I was like I felt like I knew I was going home.
Yeah. During the live shows, they brought in a few guest judges. Keenan Thompson was on. Kelly Clarkson. Was there any more, Cody, that we're blanking on?
I'd have to look. I'm not
You
sure.
didn't get either of them in either of your live shows, did you?
No,
How bummed
no.
were you that you didn't get Kelly
That's
Clarkson?
the thing. I saw so many people getting like, and for, especially even for this last season, 20, like people were like, Jordan performed with, uh, what is the guy's name? He sang, oh my gosh, he got to perform with the artist that sang his song, the
Oh
song that
yeah.
he sang. So it was just like, they're switching it up. They were able to get, all these people to come perform with the artists that, the song that they sang. So that, I feel like that was like, is this the voice now? Like, now they're bringing up singers, so I was
Yeah.
like, "Dang, I got bummed." Yeah, and the Kelly Clarkson thing, like, there were so many things that couldn't happen that were just not. I mean, it was out of our hands and out of their hands too.
He sang with Danny O'Donohue, the
Right.
singer from the script
The
for Break
script,
Even.
break
Great song.
even.
Great song.
Yeah.
Um,
You were thinking of Eric Stone Street. There was a big reunion with him and Sophia because
gotcha.
they had just
Yeah.
wrapped up Modern Family.
Yeah. Yeah, but I feel like, yeah, as a singer, it would have been awesome to have Kelly Clarkson at the
Yeah,
table for
for sure.
your performance. Um,
That's what I was thinking
Co-
about going out for The Voice.
yeah, is that were you did it ever be like, should I do this or that? Have you ever tried out for any other ones, or was it always AGT?
It was just I actually didn't even try out for AGT. So I was kind of like recruited, I would say.
Yep.
I was on my way to work and I got this email and I'm like, I thought it was fake. I'm like, this isn't
Yeah.
real. Like, you've been selected to audition for the show. Would you like to audition? Call this number. So I called the number. They didn't answer. They called me back. And I was like, they're like, you want to come down to San Diego Convention Center to like audition? And I'm like, this is real. And so they sent me
Yeah.
this thing, what's called a Q ticket. So I didn't have to wait in line and I brought the paper with me. I bypassed the entire line. They put me in this room in front of these like executive producers for the show. I sang like 3 songs, and they then put you in another room. You're waiting again. You sing again, and then they just call you out by name and say, "Okay, we'll let you know in a few weeks if you make it."
hmm
So
What did
that
you
was
sing
kind of.
for that?
I sang "If I Ain't Got You" by Alicia Keys, and then I think I also sang. Um, A song by Demi Lovato, "Anyone, you send me
Sure.
anyone." Oh, that song's beautiful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Cody, Cody, what else you got?
I'm good. Yeah, I think
No, this
this
was
was
great.
great. Yeah.
I think you should go for it again. Season 21. I'll tell you this. If you are on season 21 or 22, if you're on the show again, you have gained a couple of shameless pluggers for you online.
Yeah.
Bandwagon, I mean, friend of the pod and forever. And so you'll have at
Awesome.
least a handful of us that are like, you morons didn't vote for, we know who you are. But no, this
We'll
was
try, we'll
great.
see.
Yeah. Maybe before we sign off, tell people where they can find you, handles, all that, and then
Okay.
one last plug maybe on that the headlining show.
Celina Graves Official on TikTok and on Instagram. I go live every single night, so please come and join one of my live streams. I also dance as well. So
Mm,
again, it's Celina Graves Official with a C. And yeah, my music is on all digital platforms: Spotify, Amazon, iTunes. I have a new song called "Feels Like Magic." It's doing really well, featuring Saya. So that's a song to go listen to. Fun song. And tickets to my show November 14th in Buffalo at Forbes Theater, Buffalo, New York. Get your tickets before they're sold out.
What if people when people go to watch you on TikTok live, what are they getting into? You said you're dancing, are you playing instruments too? Like what's the content?
So ever since I was a kid, I would just pick up instruments because my dad's a musician. So I would just go to his rehearsals and, pick up the guitar, play the piano. So I'm fluent at piano, guitar, acoustic and electric. I play drums. So I do that all on live. I sing and I dance. And so that's where I make my income like for a living. So on top of like doing shows outside of streaming. So it'd be fun to come watch me
Yeah,
live.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, everybody go check her out. Go give her a follow. Check out those TikTok lives. Cody, you want to sign us out?
Yeah. What do we got coming up, commenter?
The rest of our season 5 rewatch. Talk about Jackie Ivanko and all of Michael Grimm and
Well, we won't get
season
to
5.
We won't get to Jackie Ivanko for a while,
No,
but
for a
we have
while.
auditions 4, 5, 6 coming up, right?
Yep, 4, 5, 6, 7.
4, 5, 6,
is
7.
next.
Yeah. Yes.
So, yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah. So, come find us. Season 5 rewatch. The ballots are flowing in, aren't they?
The ballots are done. The Hall
Ballots
of
are
Fame
done.
class of 2026 is
Yeah.
set.
So we created a AGT Hall of Fame, Celina.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep. So 10
Your
apps got-
own Oh.
So we sent out about last year. 10 people got inducted. This year, the ballot is done. 6 are getting inducted. I'm fine telling the people how many. But after the new year, people find out the new class.
Cool.
Yeah,
That's
it's
awesome.
very fun. But
Well,
yeah,
thanks for having me. This was fun. It's kind of like cool to go back on memory lane and make me
Yeah.
relive the whole experience. So
yeah.
thanks
No,
for
this
having
was
me.
great.
Yeah, you can find us on our socials at AGT Time Pod. You can email us agttimepod@gmail.com. Celina, thank you so much for coming on. This was amazing. We appreciate you
course.
going back in time with us. We'd love to have you on again and kind of fill us in on anything new you got going on. So
For sure.
everyone,
Sounds
yep.
good.
Yeah, everyone have a great night.